Hey, what's up, y'all? It's popping this D. About to react to this vid. This is what's something incredibly misogynistic that everyone just ignores. Okay, y'all been sending me some good topics for these TikTok discussion vids, but let's see what they got to say. Let's watch.
What's something that's actually incredibly fucking misogynistic, but everyone just ignores?
I genuinely have so many, but here are some that really get under my skin.
I got one.
There's no male equivalent for calling somebody basic. Literally every single thing a woman does can be criticized as basic, but to be honest, when the NBA was canceled, I saw every single man's story saying how they didn't know what their personality was going to be, and no one called them basic for it. Women are literally not allowed to have interests, and that is whack. The fact that men's egos are more important than a woman's sense of security, I feel rude telling people not to touch me, and it's my fucking body. Why am I feeling this way? That's crazy to me. How people will refuse to endorse artists like Cardi B for singing about a woman's vagina and saying that she's degrading to women, but still endorse artists like Chris Brown, who is literally a woman beater, and Kodak Black, who has raped and perpetuated violence against women.
Oh, here, right?
What's something that's actually incredibly fucking misogynistic, but everyone just ignores it?
The way that we treat AI assistants. So Siri, Alexa, Cortana were
Girl!
all given feminine sounding names and female voices as their default setting. So these little assistive robots that are supposed to do whatever we ask and answer all of our questions were given female personas. Also, I saw recently that Marriott Hotels has this little cylindrical robot that will carry things to your door for you.
Oh, that shit is lit! I utilized that before. I feel like I put it on my story as well. This was a while ago, though. This was maybe a couple years ago, but it was so dope. But are we complaining about that and calling that misogyny?
Of course, they named this completely non-anthropomorphic robot maid Rose the Butler. Lastly, did anybody else notice that when the female voiced text-to-speech feature first came out on this app, it took literally less than 24 hours for everyone to start calling her this bitch and thinking it was really funny to make fun of her? I'm not saying any of these things are individually the end of the world, but they are symptoms of a much larger problem, which is we like when women do things for us, but we don't like respecting them for it.
Okay, what's something that's actually incredibly fucking misogynistic, but everyone just ignores it?
Girl, I have so many. The term bitch is used to insult a woman, and then son of a bitch for a man, even though son of a bitch is just calling the man's mother a bitch. Why do women's sports literally have a different name, like NBA versus WNBA?
Because we need to know which one not to watch, girl. And it's WNBA. I'm watching that shit.
Why can't we all be under NBA? When you think of it,
how I'm gonna know which one to avoid? I need it to be separated.
teacher, you think of a woman, but a professor, you think of a man. Same thing with cook and chef. This comes from the whole thing about women not getting higher education. Men are praised for buying condoms because they're being safe and using protection, but women are shamed for it because they're being a slut. Why is too girly used as an insult, and why is it degrading? Similarly, why do we look up to things that are manly? Women are shamed for literally everything we do. The whole concept of something is too basic is because every other woman likes it. What? Why is pussy, a female body part, used as something to describe weak people? And grow a pair of balls means to get stronger. I have so many more.
What's something that's actually incredibly fucking misogynistic, but everyone just ignores it and pretends it's fun?
I mean, pretty much everything, but one thing that really irks me is that everyone's okay with asking a woman to conform and adjust to a man's needs, but if a woman asks a man to conform and adjust to her needs, she's asking for too much. For example, people claim that men have higher sex drives and it's biological and thus they can't control themselves. And instead of teaching men how to control these urges and be respectful towards women, we expect women to dress more modestly so that they can prevent any sexual harassment from happening to them. But if I expected men to be nice to women all the time, because you don't know if she's going to be on her period, and if you're not exceptionally nice to her all the time, you could trigger her to be angry, that's too much to ask. And that's not her fault if she gets super angry and acts irrationally, because it's biological and it's something that she can't control, and you triggered it with your actions or words. So her being an asshole was deserving, but instead, women are expected to keep composure at all times, even if they are on their period.
What's something that's actually incredibly fucking...
Yeah, I think both of those are stupid, but she's making a point. She's not really trying to support that. By the way, I know people gonna be like, no, that ain't right for a woman to do that just because she's on her period. She's making a point. She's comparing it to people saying it's okay for men to... Anyway. But I agree. I do agree with what she was saying, though. She was making valid points.
Misogynistic, but everyone just ignores it.
Marriage. So have you ever thought about why your father gives you away? It's because in history, traditionally,
I
your
thought she was
father
going somewhere and you
owned
wasn't.
you, and he sold you to a man, so he's walking you down the aisle and he passes you on to another man, your next, I don't know, owner. Women were bought and sold like cattle, and these traditions exist today because they're pretty, but we never stopped to think, like, why do I wear this white dress? Oh, it's because in history the white was a symbol of purity to show that I've not had sex. So my husband knows that he's getting, he's not getting a used car, as they say, I guess. Everything in society it's a patriarchy, right?
Of course.
Little girls reject femininity. You see so many little girls being like, I don't like stupid girly toys like princesses because I'm smart. We equate manliness with intelligence. How did we let men do this? There's so much I could say, but basically all of society.
Okay, what's something that's actually incredibly fucking misogynistic, but everyone just ignores it?
People do not let teenage girls exist. And people have talked about this, but there is definitely a reason for it. It's not just slut shaming, it's not just sexualization. Society takes teenage girls and forces them into these little boxes to sum up exactly who they are and then make them shut the fuck up. Visco girl, e-girl, bra girl, soft girl. And then people make fun of everything they do to reduce them to that being all that they are. And why? Teenage girls have a lot to say. Think about the perspective that teenage girls have growing up in the middle of climate change, gun violence, while being sexualized by older men. Teenage girls are growing into womanhood and understanding the way that society treats them. If Visco girls are just save the bees and not holy shit, the planet is dying, people don't have to listen anymore.
Okay, what's something that's actually incredibly fucking misogynistic, but everyone just ignores it?
The fact that we even have debates or discussions about the validity, authenticity, plausibility of female characters' accomplishments when for decades we've had male protagonists just doing the absolute most with never ever a question of, is that really realistic though? John McClane, he's just a regular guy. He's just a regular police officer that gets 8 months of training. No, you're right. It's an action movie. I probably shouldn't read too much into it.
Okay, what's something that's actually incredibly fucking misogynistic, but everyone just ignores it?
Men making fun of girls who like astrology or believe in astrology. Yeah, they'll be the first to comment under some Christian's TikTok and be like, don't disrespect God, don't disrespect somebody's religion. In my personal opinion, if you think about it, astrology is actually more logical than the Christian religion, because all it's saying is that the positioning of the planets literally affect us on a daily basis, which is proven by science, whereas Christianity is literally just saying there's some God man in the sky that sends you to hell if you're gay. I'm sorry, but in my opinion, it's just misogyny, because it's like, oh, silly women, why would you ever believe something so stupid? It's so cringy. Like, it's literally just people's lives. It doesn't hurt anybody. Christianity hurts people more than astrology does. Like,
okay, what's something that's actually incredibly fucking misogynistic, but everyone just ignores?
Okay, I don't know if this is something we necessarily ignore, but I've been thinking about this way too much. When a woman marries a man, she is expected to take his last name. Like, just expected to take it. Like, yeah, you can hyphenate it, but people don't usually do that. Like, you're just expected to take his last name. And then when you have children that come out of your own vagina, they're supposed to have your husband's last name instead of yours when it came out of you. Okay. And also, when you get married, the preacher or the priest will announce, I now pronounce you man and wife. Man and wife, not husband and wife. It just...
you married, not him.
This feeling of ownership that is attached to a woman, and I very much dislike it. Also, when people call us queens, I feel like queens only operate under the notion of there being a king.
Alright,
so
girl.
Still a male authority.
Okay, what's something that's actually incredibly fucking misogynistic, but everyone just ignores it?
Beauty and brains, or beauty with brains, however you say that phrase. I'm a millennial, sorry. And when I was growing up, there were a lot of stereotypes about women. But one was that beautiful women are stupid. All they spend their time doing is chasing after boys. or beautiful girls, all they spend their time doing is chasing after boys and men and whatever. So they're stupid. And the ugly girls are always smarter and they work harder at school.
That has some validity to it for sure. I've come across people who have been shocked when I just meet them and I tell them, well, they ask me. I don't just tell people like I majored in economics. But when they ask me and they're like, oh, really? You majored in economics? Like, okay. Like, it's like, what? I'm confused by that. I used to think it was a race thing because I would come across some white people who would, you know, be like, oh. But no, definitely black men have done that to me a few times as well. So I just wrote it off. I didn't really read that deep into it, but maybe they're feeling like, oh, that's the ugly person's major. I don't know.
Simply because there's no man that's gonna come and save them. And I think women also took it and started using it to prove a point without realizing it. And it is. It really is.
Okay,
or maybe it's because I'm ratchet.
And then like,
this bitch ghetto, like, oh, you better
Patagonia women's clothing. Specifically pocket size, but we could also talk about color. This is the pocket on my R1. I can fit approximately 2 fingers or credit card inside. This is my boyfriend's R1. You could fit...
I'm gonna go. My sisters, I wanted y'all to have some better points because misogyny is literally everywhere. It permeates everything that we do. But you failed me with some of these points. Pockets, bitch. I don't give a fuck about no pockets. How big the pockets are. Maybe the pockets are bigger on their clothes because the clothes are bigger. Niggas are bigger in general. Men are usually bigger. Maybe that's why they're giving them bigger pockets. I don't know, but I don't really care about things like that. But yeah, some of them made some good points. I have one. Okay, I have one. One thing that is super misogynistic, and women do this too. They have this internalized misogyny within them, which is sad. But women are always shamed for not having a man or not being able to keep a man or not being married. Men are not shamed for that at all. Whenever men are shamed in that in a similar regard is if they're not fucking. If they're just completely not fucking, then it's like, oh, ha, you don't get no bitches. But that's in a completely different context. Women could be fucking every day of the week. But if she ain't got no man to keep her, oh, she ain't shit. That's why you ain't got no man. That's why you ain't got no ring. Women are always shamed for that. And oh my God, one example of this that just makes me cringe so much. I'm watching Real Housewives of Potomac right now. Wendy on that fucking show, I cannot fucking stand her. She is so insecure and just so ugly. And not because of how she looks, even though she's not the best looking. Let's keep it 1,000. But just her personality and how she speaks to people, it just comes across so ugly. She's just such an ugly person. And she stays trying to shame the bitches on the show for not having a man. Oh yeah, you can come and bring your luggage since you ain't got no man. Oh, were you able to keep Jamal like that? Were you able to keep your man like that? Bitch, not every woman is validated by a man keeping her. Not every woman bases her whole existence and self-esteem and worth on having a man keep her. That is so sad. That's what you get out. That's your whole purpose in life, is having a man keep you, and now you're complete. Now you've accomplished this big great thing. Like, girl, shut the fuck up. So it really annoys me when other women do it. When men do it, I just call them stupid, whatever. Of course. Of course they're gonna say that. But other women, it's just like, that makes me cringe so much. It's like, is this what you're gonna teach your daughter to? That she ain't shit if she don't have a man to keep her? Like, gross. And then the nigga that she was trying to shame her over, Jamal, he cheated on her. So the fact that she no longer with him, if anything, that should be applauded. That she walked away from a nigga who wasn't doing her right. But you up here like, oh yeah, you ain't got no man. You don't even have a real relationship. Bitch, there's more to life. You are so fucking pathetic. Like, that makes me sick. I cannot stand that, because that is what's force fed to us as women, is that we're not worthy unless we have a man. And this is coming from someone who has been in a relationship most of my adult life. Let's be clear. Because as soon as you speak on shit like this, people of course want to be like, oh, you only bother because it applies to you. No, bitch, try again. I've been in relationships most of my life, but I have not ever determined my own worth based on me being in a relationship. I've never felt less than when I wasn't in a relationship. Like, and it's sad that message is constantly force-fed to women. Like, oh, when you gonna get a man? Why you can't keep no man? Or what? Like, ew, gross. Anyway, but yeah, a few of the people had good points, like I said, but some of them, girl, go back to the drawing board. Some of this shit was stupid. Y'all let me know what y'all thought, though. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch, and I'll see you on the next one.